Hey everybody, Mntdewmania here, and welcome to a new little, I don't know, I guess a series, a vlog, I'm not really sure what you would call it, but I know what I'm going to name it. Thought about this a long time, and I've decided that there's just not enough good old-fashioned redneck rants in the world, especially the YouTube world, and I need to fix that, because one, I'm a redneck. Two, I'm a woman, so that means that I can just absolutely rant on and on about pretty much anything, A to Z. So that's what I'm going to call this. Mntdewmania's Redneck Rants, A to Z. Okay? Every vlog series, whenever I decide to do this, probably once a week, I'm going to pick a letter. We'll go right down through the alphabet, probably A through Z. And every letter will stand for a rant. And I've already got A picked out. Today's rant is going to be about advice. Okay? And I want you, there's a disclaimer here. This is my rant time. Okay, this is my opinion. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. I'm not asking you to. But don't be leaving no nasty comments because you'll get blocked. Okay? Don't like the video? Oh, hey, not my cup of tea. Later. Cool. Okay? These are silly, stupid, crazy, redneck rants. That's all they are. Alright? So, don't take them personal. Alright. Disclaimer over. Yay, let's get to it. And anyway, in case anybody wants to know, I'm on Vox Populi. This is my fishing hole. I fish here. This is where I write my poetry. I love Vox. I've always loved Vox. Been here for a long time. Not as long as some people, but I'm way over a year now. So, yeah, let's get right down to it. A lot of these people you probably won't know. You can Google them. So just if you're curious to who they are, but I did research. Can you believe that? I did research. And James McIntosh once said, "Men are never so good or bad as their opinions." And we all have them, don't we? Everybody has an opinion. Okay. All you have to do to get an opinion is start a sentence with, what do you think? And just like magic, everybody will tell you what they think. Okay? Now, a lot of people will argue that opinions and advice are different things. I think they are. That's just my opinion. And that's the difference. Advice means actually giving somebody directions on how to do something. Well, if it was me, I wouldn't fish this way. I would fish this way. An opinion is, oh man, I don't know if you're going to catch any fish if you fish that way. Advice means action. Okay? That's just my opinion. And I have a couple of things that I don't like about advice. Because usually people want to give you free advice. Even if you don't ask for it, they'll give it to you. Your friends, your parents, your husband, your wife, your dog will tell you what bone he don't like and tell you which one to buy. I mean, people can give you advice on everything. So, advice is probably the least thing that we heed in our lives, okay? Especially when it's most needed. And some people need good, solid advice. They just do. They don't get it. I don't know why they don't get it. They just don't. They're either ignorant of the situation or they're just stupid. I don't know which one it is. But some people just need good advice and they will not take it. Even if they ask you for it, they will not take it. So, I'm at a kind of a loss. Why would you ask for advice and get decent advice? And it's, like I said, most 100% of the time, it's free, and not take it. If you didn't want my advice, don't ask me for it. I have better things to do than stand and listen to you whine about your sob story that I probably don't care about anyway. And then you say, well, what do you think? Now, if you didn't want to know what I thought, why the hell are you wasting my time asking me? Don't. You know? And, we get, like I said, we get advice from everywhere. Family, friends. Friends are great for, if you trust them enough, they're great for giving advice. But advice is like the weather, especially from your friends. Some of it's going to be good, but some of it is going to be bad. And if they've had a bad experience in whatever you're asking advice about, they're going to give you bad advice. Now, some people learn from mistakes, and they can give you good advice. You're going to have to learn to tell the difference. But my opinion, basically, I have a couple opinions on this, actually. First of all, no one can give you better advice than yourself. Because 9 times out of 10, when you have a problem, you ask yourself first. You know you do. Think about it. Think about how many times you have had a problem, and you sit and go, what should I do? And then you start talking to yourself, don't you? Oh, well, and you have this whole conversation in your head. Oh, well, I could. Well, maybe what if I did? You're giving yourself advice. And it's probably good advice if you would actually listen to yourself. But most people don't. They second guess. So they go to other people for advice. And my other opinion on advice is never give it. Never give advice. Because a proverb says, a wise man won't need it and a fool won't heed it. And that's about the truth. Because, seriously, it's common sense sometimes, If you're a small person, let's say, let me give you an analogy here. If you're a small person, don't go pick up that lighthouse. Because you can't, okay? That's a heavy, big, huge thing, okay? You can't lift it because you can't. You don't have the strength. It's the same with advice, okay? If words are just absolutely worthless, don't give advice. If you do not know what you're talking about, don't give it. All right? Shut the hell up. Don't make things worse. If there's one thing I hate more than anything, it's somebody that has advice pouring out their ass on every single subject in this universe. And will practically shove it down your throat when they ain't got a damn clue what the hell they're talking about. Okay? And most of the time, anyway, you can, you can give advice by the bucketfuls, okay? But people won't take more than probably about the size of a grain of sand. Anyway. Unless you're just one of those people that you're just very indecisive and you don't have a clue and you really do take everybody's advice. But I'm telling you that can, it can become a vice, okay? You will get so used to taking advice that you won't even think for yourself anymore. You will just go to the same people over and over and over, whether it's good advice or bad advice, and just take it, And another good quote is from the first Earl of Beaconsfield. He said, "No vice is so bad as advice." That's probably a good one, to be honest with you. And sometimes advice can be fatal. You think, and it might be good advice that you're giving somebody, but it might just not work for that person. You know what I'm saying? It could have worked for the 99 people before that had a similar problem, but there's always going to be that one time that it just doesn't work. I mean, you know, it's and it can come back and boomerang on your ass, and you get into a world of mess that you don't need to be in. You know, so, and you know, sometimes we ask advice even when we don't need it, and you'll ask for it, but you already know the answer. You wish you didn't know the answer, but you do. You know you do. And if you ask somebody else's advice, and you go with their advice, when it blows up in your face, you get to blame them. And you're scot-free. So, my advice is don't take anybody else's advice. You know? That's just use some common sense. If somebody says, you know, well, I would advise you to jump off that because, I mean, you know, no. Start and jump off that. I mean, you know, if it worked for another person, that's wonderful. Now, you might take it into consideration, you know, and pick through it carefully, good points, bad points, and, you know, be honest with yourself. Would this work for me? I don't know. Then don't take the advice. Okay? My advice is don't give or take any advice. It can blow up in your face. You can, I mean, giver or taker, you know? And I always warn people, Susie, well, what do you think? Okay, do you want the truth? The bold ass in your face truth about what I think and my advice to you. Because if you do not, shut up, turn around, and walk on. Because that's what you're going to get from me. So be very careful about asking me for advice. Okay? So, I guess that's going to end my first redneck rant. I hope you guys enjoyed this little rant of mine. I think I'm gonna post these on maybe like Friday, Saturdays. I don't know, something like that. Like I said, you know, these are just my opinions about stuff. Don't need any hate mail from anybody. I'm sure your opinion's totally different than mine. That's what the world is about. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got their own thoughts and ways of thinking about stuff. But, I mean, you know, I just thought I'd throw this out there and see if you thought anywhere along the lines of a good old redneck girl does. So with that, I guess I will say farewell for now. And if you want to, in the comments, I would kind of be interested to see what is some of the worst and best advice you've ever gotten from somebody. And we'll see how this goes, okay? And I think next week the letter is going to be B. I was going to mix them all up, but I think I'm just going to go in a straight line. Of course, I'm OCD, and straight lines are cool. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed this little vlog rant, and I will see you next time. So, this is Mntdewmania, fishing under the pier on Vox Populi, and I am so out of here. Later, guys.